Dear students, we are launching the first part of Model Question Bank in the field of economics for the examinations to be held in and after the year 2017. This Model Question Bank is in line with the latest ISC, CBSE and W.B.BOARD Syllabus. You see, it is absolutely free of cost for you. All that we want from you is your like, sharing and subscription. And finally, wish you a grand success in the upcoming examinations. Thank you. This compulsory part consists of short questions of 2 marks each. And starting with demand analysis. First of all, question number 1 is, give the meaning of positive price elasticity of demand. You see, in case of a normal product, usual demand law is satisfied and as a result the demand is negatively sloped. The fraction delta Q by delta P is negative and price elasticity is negative in this case. And for a given product, that is the exception to the law of demand, the demand curve is positively sloped and the fraction delta Q by delta P is positive. There is the price and quantity demanded move in the same direction. Got it? The second question is, what is meant by shift of the demand curve? See, shift of the demand curve is due to non-price change, first of all. If there is a change in the other determinants of demand, then shifting of demand is possible in rightward or leftward direction. For example, increase in income, decrease in price of complements, decrease in income inequality, etc. for rightward shift, and decrease in price of substitutes, a fall in taste and preference pattern of the consumer, etc. for the leftward shift of the demand curve. Okay? The third question is, distinguish between extension of demand and increase in demand. You see, in case of extension of demand, it relates to movement along the same demand curve. But in case of increase in demand, the shift of the demand curve is there. Secondly, in case of extension of demand, if price decreases, demand for the commodity goes up. But in case of increase in demand, price is constant but the demand curve shifts rightward. In case of extension of demand, we can cite example as if the government allows a subsidy for a particular commodity, price goes down and demand goes up. But in case of increase in demand, the example is if income of the consumer increases, keeping price of a commodity constant, demand curve shifts rightward. Of course, if the commodity is a normal one. Okay. Now, graphically, we can analyze extension of demand. You see, if the price goes down from P1 to P2, quantity demanded goes up and movement along the demand curve from A to B means extension of demand. But in case of increase in demand, keeping price constant, if income of the consumer increases, suppose, then demand curve D1, D1 shifts rightward to D2, D2 and this is called absolutely increase in demand. Okay. Now, question number 4 is, distinguish between contraction of demand and decrease in demand. You see, in case of contraction of demand, the movement along the demand curve is possible. But in case of decrease in demand, it relates to shift of the demand curve. In case of contraction of demand, if price increases, demand for the commodity goes down. But in case of decrease in demand, price is constant but the demand curve shifts leftward. Okay. Now, for example, in case of contraction, suppose the government increases tax on cigarettes. As a result, price goes up and demand decreases. But in case of decrease, decrease in income, decrease in price of substitutes, etc., demand curve shifts left direction. See, graphically we can explain the contraction of demand as price goes up from P1 to P2, demand decreases from Q2 to Q1, and movement from B to A means contraction of demand. But in case of decrease in demand, keeping price constant, demand curve D2 D2 shifts leftward to D1 D1, resulting a reduction in quantity from Q2 to Q1. Okay. Now question number 5 is define marginal utility when it can be negative. You see, marginal utility is the last unit utility. If the consumer consumes one extra unit, the additional utility he or she receives is marginal utility. Now, when TU, that is total utility, decreases, MU or marginal utility is negative. Symbolically, MUN equals TUN plus 1 minus TUN. Okay. Graphically, we also explain the same thing. TU curve starts from the origin, increases at a diminishing rate, reaches a point called max, and then TU decreases. As a result, first of all, when TU is increasing, MU is positive. When TU is maximum, MU is 0. And when TU decreases, MUX is negative. Okay. Now, what is price effect? The concept of price effect is based on ordinal utility approach developed by Professor Alain, Hicks and Perrotte. It measures the effects on quantity demanded of a commodity due to a change in price of that commodity. Price effect is decomposed in two major components. First of all, income effect, and secondly, substitution effect. Now, question 7 is, what is income effect? See, if price of the commodity increases, the disposable income of the consumer reduces, and this lower income may reduce the demand of the consumer. Symbolically, if the commodity is X, as Px goes down, disposable income goes up, and demand for X goes up, and vice versa. For example, take the instance of wage rate. If wage rate increases, a worker can maintain a decent standard of living through less work. Okay? Thank you.